Mr. Anupam Garg, Industry Business Architect, Utilities, SAP.
Yeah, good evening. And thank you, Balu. In fact, you made my job easier by setting the tone that we need to help the country. We need to help the CGD companies in adopting the right solution, okay, so that they can really achieve a level of operational excellence. As you rightly said, that as we have seen that, in fact, there are 3 waves of the CGD processes. And it's like since morning we are talking about that it's a growth and the clean fuel. So I think the requirement or the expectation is already set, and now the new CGD operators actually need to get into the execution phase, okay? And actually to have the execution, they need to have the right solution for their business platform. And that's where I come from. I am from SAP, and I'm helping utilities in adopting the right solution. So as this CGD operation kicks off, we need to set up the infrastructure. And to set up the infrastructure, we need to have, it's like mainly we need to think of the 3 sub-processes which are around the build and commission. So build the network and commission the network. And then actually we need to get into the operation quickly, because many times the mandate from the PNGRB is to have, it's like start the CNG station. Okay, that's where the mandate is. So the network started, gas flows, the CNG station needs to be set up. So that's where the processes related to CNG needs to come up. And then the whole host of the processes around the business support. So right from purchase, quality, accounting, so all these processes related to the business support. So what we had done that we, in fact, understand these processes, and in fact, in the subsequent slide, I'll be talking about that largely all the CGD company who are there since more than 10 years now. So they are using our platform, and it is really, in fact, we have a good, in fact, the feedback because these processes had been enabled on this platform. And like from SAP also, we had invested a lot. It's like the investment has gone into the, it's like the development side, the localization side. In fact, we have labs in Bangalore where we, it's like every year whenever there is some change from the government side, from the taxation, from the regulation side, immediately we need to come up with the process changing, and we need to release this as a development patch. Okay, so it is a patch, but then it goes as a process add-on, and then this process add-on is tested by SAP. So you need to just apply, and then it is like up and running. The second wave is around the revenue management. So that's where, if like the CGD station is up and running, but the most complex part is around the PNG connections. It's like, because there the volume is more. It's like the customer acquisition cost is more, the customer maintenance cost is more, while from the CNI side, the commercial and industrial side, the number of consumers are less, but in fact, they are more profitable if I see from the CGD operator perspective. So we need to have a system such that these processes are standardized, and more digital way of working we need to enable. It's like in morning we were talking, it's like there is a CGD company who had shared that there are, it's like 384 ways through which the consumer can do the payment. I mean, this was something like a huge number, but yes, we need to have a system where we need to provide all kind of options to the consumer. they have to come from any channel, and they have to, it's like they have to touch base with any of the payment gateway. So the important point is that the system has to be such that which can connect with any of the application which is there in the market. Yes, but that application should be open and standard based. And the third is more important around the customer centricity. That's where, as soon as the PNG customers, the CNI customers are up and live, we also need to take care of their service part. Okay, wherever any problem, the customer should be able to reach to the utility within no time. So SAP has renewed the strategy in terms of, now we are talking about the intelligent enterprise. So SAP is helping around 300,000 customers worldwide. And now with the advent of the new digital technologies, we have renewed our strategy, and now we have these three components of the intelligent enterprise. So the organization, it's not only that they need to run the business, they need to run the business. The last one is, the bottom one is around the intelligent technologies. So any technology like AI, ML, or the blockchain. So what we are doing, we are now including or embedding these technologies in our process in a natural way. If I talk about one or two use cases, like we had done a development around, it's like the outsorting. So whenever we take the meter reading, okay, there are still many utilities are taking meter reading manually. So there is always the, it's like the implausible meter reading. So how to take care of those meter reading? So now we have put in a process where we are leveraging the technology so that the system is able to identify those and then able to correct those meter reading also. So that is a very good use case where we are using the intelligence of the system by way of deploying the right algorithm, and that is right into the process. So that whatever job is being done manually by the people in the field, the system is taking care of that. So that's a very good example where actually it is improving the productivity of the employee as well as increasing the efficiency of the whole process. The middle one is around the digital platform. So this digital platform is a platform which actually allows us to integrate, to take the data from any of the devices. Like I heard from Tata Communication, where in fact we will be having average around more than 20 devices per human. So take a case, if 20 devices per human are there, how to take the data into the system and then use the data in a more contextual way so that we can get the insight. And once that insight we are able to get, we need to take the action on that. And that action will be coming from the top layer, that is our application piece. So these applications are like ERP, SAP ERP, you must have heard. Now we have extended to the supplier, we have extended to the customer side. So these, it's like the top layer is the bouquet of those applications, and these are natively integrated. And within this process, we have, in fact, embed these technologies to make it more intelligent. So that is the theme of the intelligent enterprise from SAP.
Only 2 minutes.
Yes. Just an important point that it's like any CGD company, if you see in SAP, in fact, you can take the feedback. They are using SAP since more than 8 to 10 years. In fact, we feel proud of when we say that it's right now, it's around 4.5 million consumers. And like out of that, around 4 million, it's like 4 million consumers are being built from the SAP system. Obviously, many of the companies is still using some in-house system or like some legacy billing system, but whosoever is using that, it's like the standard solution, it is from SAP. So what we had done, in fact, we had heard from the CDD company that they are struggling on few of the points where they want to have the model around the OPEX model. Okay, so rather than having the investment right from day one, they wanted to have the flexibility around that how can I adopt this system where I need to pay, it's like in quarterly or an annual basis. There is a lack of maturity, lack of process knowledge because there are new companies who in fact acquired the GAs, but there are it's like there is a resource scarcity, knowledge scarcity. So that's where what we have done. We in fact we had bundled our required processes into the packages, and like these are 3 packages: setup, foundation, revenue management, and the customer centricity. And what we had done that now the new players are having the flexibility to choose these. Choose these packages. SAP will take care of the software and the infrastructure part because these are being provided on the cloud. And the cloud, when we are talking about it's like the data center is the tier 4 data center. So in fact, we had heard from MGL that nowadays the security is something a very, very challenging part. So it is our data center or the tie-up we have done with the partners here in India. So this software will be hosted in their data center, but ultimately it is the SAP's responsibility to meet out all the SLAs. So these are the tier 4 data center. So just a message here that now these packages had been built, and in fact we are talking to the it's like CGD companies to adopt that. And then it's not only relevant for the new companies, in fact the mature players who are there here. In fact, now whenever there is a hardware refresh is due, they can move on the cloud. And it's like the cloud is the way to forward. So that's where, in fact, these were the messages that I wanted to give. Thanks a lot. In fact, I'll be taking questions later on. In fact, we have prepared a brochure which is actually talking about these packages. And in fact, it is having all the information through which it's like you can reach out to us and we'll be happy to help. Thank you.
So thank you very much, Anupam, because we are also wanted to discuss so many things, but the time is very short.